Welcome back, everyone. I've missed you all. I've been away busily working on a special project that I will be telling you more about shortly. In the meantime, let's talk about TRISHA Paytas and Moses before they officially become a family channel. Now, I have zero interest in family channels, so when the new baby comes along, I'm not going to be keeping tabs on them. Thankfully, there are other YouTubers who focus their content on family channels, so I'll pass the mantle onto them. And from what I see, they show no mercy. I will still be keeping tabs on Trisha and Moses in relation to my Frenemy Reloaded series and my Frenemies Rant series. So please stick around for that. The newlyweds have been laying low as far as drama is concerned, proving to the world that a hookup started because of spite can lead to marriage.
Can I tell you the truth? Like, honestly?
Yes.
Because, like, at first it was like, I just thought it was just like funny. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so funny. Like, I just like fuck him. And then like, I'm coming back on the podcast, like, I fucked your brother.
And I do think he likes to spite his family, which may explain you guys.
Oh, I can see that for sure. Yeah.
His whole life has kind of been the pursuit of spiting and distancing himself from his family.
I'll take it. I love it.
Trisha has a long documented history on YouTube of becoming explosive while dealing with conflict, whereas Moses has a history of walking away from conflict. Seemingly, they've managed to find a balance in their marriage. However, months ago, I've picked up on an ongoing conflict. Something that's tilting the balance. And that conflict? How to raise a child. Y'all know I'm all about watching and dissecting how people interact with one another, so let's take a look back at old clips and the new clip of the glaring disagreement Moses and Trisha have about child rearing, and see if you can spot the pattern in their behavior.
I guess with 2 kids, we don't really have to move because I guess the Schitt's Creek room could turn into one of their bedrooms.
Well, right.
Although we have all that green wall.
What? Who said they won't like it? If they want, they can paint it themselves.
Themselves?
Yes, it's their room.
You're gonna make our kids repaint their room? I won't. I'll be like, don't worry, I'll hire a painter for us.
They're gonna be working, they're gonna have jobs.
No. See, this is why we can't have kids, because kids should be kids. They have to work their entire life.
It's not like 9 to 5. It's like little tasks, just learning how to use a brush.
Okay, that's hard.
Not if you do it as a child.
No.
It's hard because you never did it.
No, that's not true.
Well.
And you know what? I mean, we work hard.
Hi, Moses. Do you feel about becoming a father? What parents will you be? Who's going to be the soft one and who's going to be the hard one? He's going to be the hard one. I'm not going to punish my kids.
I don't know if it's... There's like this subtle disciplinary side. Like they have to have one disciplinary and one not. But I feel like you're the more disciplinary.
No, you said you were gonna make them do chores and stuff. I'm like, don't let them work. They have to their whole lives to work.
They have to learn how to have like good work ethics, you know.
But I feel like you just learn that. Like I didn't have a job growing up or anything. You just learn a work ethic when you get older.
Let's say if I'm working in the garden and they want to work with me in the garden, like you assume
that's
they'll hate
different.
it.
No, that's different. But saying,
it?
oh, you have to come out and compost with me today, like that, I think is like let them be kids. If they want to, maybe they will love to. I'm not saying they won't, but
you're assuming you're putting have.
I'm not at all. I'm not.
I
was. You were saying, oh, they need to work ethic and they need to do chores and stuff around the house, and I was just like, I never did. And you have to do chores your entire life. Look at us. You took the trash out last night. You have to do that for the rest of your life.
I'm not talking about chores. I'm talking about chores.
Well, I don't think so. Big parenting differences between you guys. We're pretty much on the same page with everything. Probably chores are the only thing we might disagree on a little bit, but we'll cross that when we get there.
Yeah, it's not even chores. It's just like, you know.
I don't feel like kids should have to have like jobs. I think they should focus on school and like don't have to worry about chores or anything. I never had chores. I never had a job. So I don't know. That's what I think, but we'll see. Thoughts?
They just need to have, I don't know, if not chores, then a way to appreciate things. Like a way, like you don't want it to also be like spoiled.
But I always
like
appreciated everything.
Brat, you know?
I never was. And people always said that. I appreciate everything, and I still appreciate everything.
Right. So your parents did something right. So that's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't have to be through chores, but
I think
But
it's
then,
also the baby, like, or the kid, that they need discipline, or because I wasn't really disciplined, like, but I didn't need it, like, I didn't do anything bad, like, it's not like I think I don't know. We talked about this before, like, I don't like we never yelled as kids or babies, so not to say I was like a perfect
right.
kid, but I might have been a perfect kid because I didn't do anything bad. I didn't have to like get grounded. Did you get grounded?
Not really.
Did you get punished?
Yeah.
What'd you do that you were bad, naughty?
I don't know. It's not about being bad. I think it's more. I think my parents were too strict.
Interesting. So that's probably why you have that in your head to like discipline, because you got disciplined.
No, I just see kids that are like completely rotten. So it's like you need to be able to.
Yeah, but again, I
Find the
think it's
balance.
based on the kid and the parents,
Right. We're the parents.
Right.
Now, the first clip was taken before Trisha became pregnant. The second clip was taken before they knew the gender. And the third clip was taken recently at roughly the 34-week pregnancy mark. And just an aside, it's really funny to me, Moses is there dreaming up chores for a baby when he hasn't finished his chore of fixing up the nursery. Priorities, Moses. Priorities. Anyway, through the clips, Moses was adamant their future child would be raised with discipline and chores, even though by the end, he softened up a bit. Trisha was consistent, though, all the way through. She does not want rules or chores for her child. And can I just say, I've never met a parent like Trisha so determined not to have their child do work around the house. For real, Trisha never ceases to amaze me. She's spoken in the past before about when her father remarried, her stepmom wanted her to do chores and she hated it because her parents never expected her to do chores. I wouldn't be surprised if the memories of her stepmother's expectation is the sole reason why she does not want her future children having any kind of responsibility. Now, we all know Trisha is a troll, and I believe she is trolling Moses with this no discipline stance because she knows it gets a rise out of him. There are very few things Trisha can say to Moses to get a reaction, but this is one of her go-tos. Do not be surprised if she has this hard line of no chores to then do a 180 and say, chores are great for children in the near future. And this is my reasoning for saying this. You guys, listen up, because I'm going out there. Trisha thought her first child would be a boy.
If you go to Moses' TikTok, we did a Chinese like zodiac reveal where I had to put my birthday and my due date for my baby. And it came up as boy. I feel in my womb lands, deep in my womb lands, it's a boy. But just in my gut, I feel it's a boy. We keep calling our baby him because we think it's a boy.
We are all now familiar with the socialization of children, and there's a big difference in expectation for when you have a boy and for when you have a girl. How many mama's boys are out there listening to me right now? Do you remember how your mom spoiled you while your father disciplined you? How many daddy's girl out there listening to me right now? Do you remember how your dad spoiled you while your mother disciplined you? Of course, I'm being very stereotypical right now, but follow my train of thought on mama's boys and daddy's girls. Moses has already softened his stance on chores to a degree, and if you followed the timeline, he started to soften after finding out he is having a girl. Now, if Moses is the type of dad to instinctively spoil his daughter, I wouldn't be surprised Trisha suddenly becoming the disciplinarian of the two. I wouldn't put it past her one bit. Because remember, Moses says this, so he knows it's possible too.
Like they have to have one disciplinary and one not. But I feel like you're the more disciplinary.
No,
with the kid.
you said.
See, he sees it in her. He knows that she has it in her. He knows she has it in her to instill discipline. He knows that, but Trisha is determined to find a way to be diametrically opposed to Moses on certain issues. She likes that. It's fun for her.
I don't know. It's not about being bad. I think it's more. I think my parents were too strict.
Notice how Moses believes his parents were too strict, yet he wants to recreate a similar environment for his child. And Trisha implies her upbringing was not strict at all.
I don't feel like kids should have to have like jobs. I think they should focus on school and like don't have to worry about chores or anything. I never had chores. I never had a job, so
and she wants to recreate a similar environment for her child. I'm sure all parents can relate to defaulting back to how they were raised in dealing with their children. My father yelled at me when I was bad, so I'm going to do the same to my child. My mom ignored me when I was having a tantrum, so I'm going to do the same with my child. The thinking usually goes, I turned out okay, therefore my parents raised me right. I challenge you instead to think, I turned out okay in spite of how my parents raised me. If you couldn't tell, Moses was choosing his words carefully when explaining his upbringing, but it's easy to deduce there may have been corporal punishment involved. Trisha acts as though her mother and father's carefree approach to parenting was a ball of fun, but we all know that can't be true if you ever heard the horror stories of what she went through as a child.
So how do you come out of a good family and go straight into prostitution?
What happened is like, okay, like it was good. My mom was good. The thing with my mom, she had a lot of boyfriends. She was married a lot of times.
Your parents are divorced.
Yeah, they got divorced early on. And so my mom worked all the time. She was a single mom. Like my dad like paid a little bit, but whatever. So my mom worked like 4 jobs, always had boyfriends. The boyfriends are always at her house without my mom and like just like in and out. Just like
did the
that.
boyfriend ever touch you or anything
I don't know.
weird?
Honestly, I don't know. But like all I knew was like I had to get out. So at 17, I was like, peace, bye. I'm like, actually, I quit school at 15.
They've both had bad experiences, yet they both want to repeat the cycle. And it's not necessarily because they think it's right. They are doing it because it's all they know. It's familiar to them. Now, I believe children need discipline. And when I use the word discipline, I don't mean punishment. Discipline is the means of setting boundaries and expectation for a child that involves nurturing their personal growth. My humble advice to any new parent or old parent for that matter is instead of reverting back to what is familiar, how about considering some new ideas and approaches to child rearing? Raising a child is a wonderful and taxing experience all at the same time. Don't be afraid to ask for guidance when you feel overwhelmed. If you do need help along your parenting journey, I recommend the book No Drama Discipline by Daniel J. Siegel and Tina Pay Bryson, where you can find tools on how you can guide your child through their tantrums, tensions, and tears. It's not that you have to be a perfect parent, because nobody is, but you can be a knowledgeable parent. And that's one of the best things you can give your child. I'll leave an affiliate link for the book in the description box. And please leave your advice about raising children in the comments below. At the moment, Trisha and Moses are at opposite ends of the spectrums in regard to parenting. However, they still have time to find a resolution. After all, marriage is all about compromise.